A very good morning, everybody. You're watching AMS Live. My name is Boy. It is Sunday, February 23rd, 2025. We're standing at the Polderbaan, a little bit foggy. The thumbnail not really indicative of the weather, but it is indicative of the traffic that we are expecting today. A very good morning to everybody who has joined already. Good evening, Maria. Good morning, Marissa. Good morning, Wolfgang. And good morning to all others. Lance, good to see ya. Silkenader, Stefan, and all the others. Welcome. As you can see, misty conditions. It should open up as the morning progresses, but for the time being, we do have to deal with limited visibility. As you can see, we have wind blowing from the south, headwind for the airplanes landing here on the Polderbaan from north to south. Wind is 10 knots, 7 degrees C, visibility on ground level 2.8 kilometers. We have a ceiling at 400 feet. It is expected to get better. Looking in the expected weather for later today, it should improve over the morning. Visibility improving to 5 kilometers, ceiling raising to about 700 feet. We'll see what happens. For the time being, we have to make do with what we can and cannot see. On our way are 3 747s expected within an hour from one another, arriving from the west. The original and only still flying Martinair Cargo arriving from Bermuda will be the first of the triplets. ITA 1050, so in an hour or so from now. Atlas Air 1105 and 1104 Cargo Lux, both from Miami, Florida. There's a Cargo Lux underway that is expected right at the moment that 2 runways are open. It is arriving from the east, so I'm thinking this one is going to go to center, but fingers crossed. Maybe it'll pick up 10 more additional minutes of delay and we'll maybe see it then on the Polderbaan. Finally, of course, Emirates Flight 147, the A380, this time in a standard livery, expected around 12:35. Right, let's close the window. Let's crouch up, put the heated gloves on, unlock the pan and tilt axis of the tripod, and let's get cracking. Ryanair landing first over here, and after this airplane we are going to go right to the wide bodies. Delta Airlines Flight 136 arriving from Detroit, Michigan. Coming in next, that's an A330. Delta Airlines Flight 90 arriving from Orlando, Florida. After that, that's an A330neo. Good morning to all the viewers who have joined us in the meantime. Stranger, Johan, Marco, Bill J, JD, Graham, Klaas, and Ari Safari, Thomas Gaming, good morning. Welcome one and all. Right, Delta Airlines Flight 136, the first wide body of the show. A330-300 arrived from Detroit, Michigan. 7 hours and 13 minutes on the way. It's the November 807 November Whiskey, 20 years old. First flight of this airplane was back in March 2004. Glide slope shots, not at the moment, even though they are coming. We cannot see the airplanes behind this one. Robbie de Sparta, Kenneth Chief, good morning. Cor, goedemorgen. Manzi, good morning. Frederick, good morning. United Aviation, good morning. Lars, goedemorgen. Eddie, goedemorgen. RDW, goedemorgen. Han, goedemorgen kerel. Had je nog niet gezien? Hey there Rosie Groovy, good morning. Luana, goedemorgen. Janine, goedemorgen. Hey Han, ben ik er ook alweer? Absoluut, zeker te weten. Je weet toch. Sunday Funday, of course I'm there. Back from a short visit to Belgium with Lise. We went to Bruges back to climb the Belfort, which we weren't able to do last time we were there a couple of months ago. Absolutely worthwhile visiting. What is up with the... Is that normal? That doesn't look normal. Delta Airlines Flight 90 arriving from Orlando, Florida. Ronald, goedemorgen. Ray, good morning. Fred, good morning. Koen, goedemorgen. Richard, goedemorgen. Daniel, goedemorgen. Dirk, goedemorgen. MPM98, guten Morgen. Und herzlich willkommen aus der Schweiz. Herzlich willkommen, liebe Freunde. So, visibility not great yet. Should improve as the morning progresses. Hadi Lisa, goedemorgen. Bob, good evening mate. Carlo, goedemorgen. Barry, Daan, Ton, goedemorgen. Now, look away if you are gluten intolerant. The next airplane is coming in from Celiac City and it might give you the cramps if you cannot handle your gluten very well. EasyJet flight 22513. 190 nautical miles it has flown to get here. Registration Jazz TB. It is 15 years old. First flight March 2009. Hey Peter K, good morning mate. Yorkshire Traveller, good morning. Hadi Roos, goedemorgen. Hope you guys are ready for another A330 because next coming in will be KLM Flight 682. KLM's A330-200 arriving from Vancouver, Canada. Or at least it's still called Canada and not the 51st American state. This airplane has flown 9 hours and 8 minutes. It's the PH-AOB FWAB, 19 years old, first flight July 2005. Wow, the cat, goedemorgen. Marco, goedemorgen. Reticent guy, good morning mate. Welcome back one and all. Hope you guys are doing well and have had a good weekend thus far. Looks like wintry conditions have returned. The upshot is that it is 7 degrees C, so it's not very cold. The day before yesterday we had lovely sunny weather, although in the afternoon it started to rain. Yesterday was another fall-like day over here, and well, as you guys can see, it looks like we're full swing back into fall-like conditions, autumn. Aditina, goedemorgen. Hadi René en Michaela, zie jullie straks. Harm, goedemorgen. It's already 9 degrees in Rotterdam, Hans says. It's always warmer in the south. There you go. Proof is given. Hey, Dutch Aviation, good morning. Evan, top of the morning, sir. Good to see you, mate. Air Europa is coming in next, arriving from Madrid with another Dreamliner. More often than not, they fly a 7879 Dreamliner in from Madrid to Amsterdam. And today is no exception. 791 nautical miles. 5-year-old airplane. First flight August 2019. Hadi Jillard, goedemorgen. I'm not sure if I'm going to stick around until 2 because it usually dies down with interesting traffic after the A380, and that is expected around 12:35. It depends on how much wide bodies are coming in after the A380 and if they're coming to the Polderbaan. Right. Another airplane coming in from EasyJet, A320neo, arriving from Birmingham. Not yet visible, but soon will become visible. Gives me a moment to crouch behind the computer. Scroll up. And thank Jörg for his 1.5 years of membership. 18 months. Happy to be on board, he says. Congrats on 27k subscriber. Jörg, thank you so much. Absolutely, massively thank you for all the support, all the fun while you're during your visits over here, your frequent visits. One of the most frequently visiting members and subscribers of the channel. Always a pleasure to have you here. I hope that you still like being a member, and do let me know if you have any suggestions for the lounge or if stocks are running low or anything that can be improved. And also a massive big thank you to Han, who just now went ahead and gifted 5 memberships. Han, that is above and beyond. I hope that everybody who received a gifted membership from you just now will thank you for it. Please enjoy the custom emojis that you have access to for a month. Don't forget to say thank you to Han. Don't forget to spam us with those custom emojis. Han, thank you so much for your generosity. You didn't have to do that, but you did it. This is EasyJet, flight 27850, arriving from Birmingham. It's an A320neo. What up, first officer? Hansworst, sweetie, good morning. Our next airplane should arrive in a moment, or should become visible in a moment, arriving from Austin, Texas. There it is already, vaguely visible. Should become more apparent pretty soon. A 7879 Dreamliner, KLM flight 668. 4,418 nautical miles it has journeyed to get here from Austin thus far. And it took 8 hours and 35 minutes to travel that distance. The airplane is 7 years old, hailing from July 2017. Hadi PT Hommel, goedemorgen. Kasper, goedemorgen. Koen asks what the turnaround for an EasyJet is. 15 minutes. I think probably something like that. When I am going to Innsbruck with Transavia and they fly 737s. I can already see the airplane that I'm flying back home with arrive because we need to be on the airport, checked in time. Usually the unloading of the passengers and cargo, refueling, loading up the new cargo and passengers is done in an hour or a little less than that. I imagine the A320s have about the same time required to get everything cleaned, refueled and whatnot. Now obviously that also happened once to me. You don't obviously need to have anything unexpectedly happen, because otherwise it will take longer. Like for instance, when somebody with a mobility scooter is traveling on your airplane and the mobility scooter jams the cargo hatch and mechanics have to come from within the city to fix the problem. Normally speaking, the turnaround should probably be around an hour. Lufty coming in next, arriving from Munich, A319, flight 2302. 1 hour and 9 minutes on the way, 20-year-old airplane, first flight June 2004. And Finnair is coming in from bloody Helsinki, but not with an A350 unfortunately. It is an A321 today. Stefan asks if I collect airplane models, and the answer is I do not, no. Good morning Voice Aviation, Frans, Bas BJC, good morning. Hans, goedemorgen. Ray asks if the duck is still there. It is. Yeah. That doesn't look good, does it? Han is asking about his favorite airplane because he needs to make some breakfast. To be honest, I don't know exactly when they're coming in. I always let fate surprise me. Adi Adri, goedemorgen. Raksat Chisek, guten Morgen, herzlich willkommen. Is goed, ik zeg gewoon Bas. Bas. Good morning Avada, Big John, good morning. Paper Chase, good morning. Welcome back guys. Hope you're doing well. Hope you've had a good weekend thus far. Finnair, arriving from bloody Helsinki, flight 1301. A321, unfortunately, not an A350. 11 years old, this airplane. First flight February 2014, and after that we are going to see American Airlines flight 204, arriving from Philadelphia. And that is a Dreamliner as usual. And that is exactly what makes me very hesitant to start collecting airplane models, Redison guy. Once you start, you're on a slippery slope. I've seen it with others. I think Rick Meester can attest that once you start collecting airplanes, it really is a slippery slope. Alrighty, let me quickly turn back the camera so that we can see the last meters of American Airlines flight 204. It is arriving from Philadelphia. Gives me a moment to crouch behind the laptop, scroll back up and congratulate and thank Peter K. Planes, who is celebrating 16 months of membership, a year and 4 months, and he says, love this great channel, mate. Thank you so much for your kind words. Thank you so much for your ongoing support. I'm happy to hear that you still like the channel. Do let me know If something is no longer to your liking, or if you have any suggestions for improvements, I'm always looking to give you guys the best that I can, and if there's something that you guys think can be better, can be improved or anything, let me know. Good morning, Aeolus Capital. Good morning, Joseph. Diano, good morning or good evening to you. And Frans asks if the Luchtvaart Hobby Shop is still, does it still exist? It sure does. It sure does. In Aalsmeer. I think it's officially in Aalsmeer. Or is it still outside of it? I think it's officially in Aalsmeer. Hadi Jaap, goedemorgen. And good morning to all others. Gertin, Jacqueline, goedemorgen. Senseless Dusts, trains and Planes, goedemorgen, good morning. Diana, goedemorgen. George, goedemorgen. Now, it is brightening up over here. Not sure if the camera picks it up. It is absolutely looking a bit brighter now than it did half an hour ago. It doesn't look like it is already resulting in a higher ceiling to the north. In other words, more glide slope shot visibility, but I'm hopeful that it will continue to improve and we'll be able to see airplanes a bit better than we are right now. Sanne en Kenny, goedemorgen. Rudy, tuning in from Austria. Guten Morgen. Servus, herzlich willkommen. Marianne, goedemorgen. Mitchell, goedemorgen. Polderbaan, indeed. Topcat, good morning. It brightened to light grey. Yeah, well, we have more than 50 shades of grey here in the Netherlands. Thomas, goedemorgen. Good morning. We're waiting for the next airplane to become visible. It should be an Embraer 175 arriving from Prague, KLM flight 1352. There's an Embraer 190 behind it turning in, arriving from Zurich. A320neo, KM Malta coming in after that. And a Chinese triple expected to become number 4 here, arriving from Shanghai. Yeah, and where is it? The mic is probably also picking up a little bit of the sound of the outbound airplane passing overhead right now. Good morning, Grant Warner. Japanese characters, Ohio gozaimasu. Good morning, welcome back. Chess King, good morning. Hope everybody is doing all right. You're looking at a gray screen. Zooming out, you can recognize the Polderbaan probably. We're waiting for the next airplane to arrive. It should be KLM flight 1352. The Embraer 175 arriving from the Czech Republic in Prague. Well, Prague in the Czech Republic, I should say, more precisely. And you can immediately see, there it is. Not sure if it was already flying there and it turned on the lights, or if it broke through the cloudiness all of a sudden, but it was like a light switch being turned on. All of a sudden we could see it. Good morning, it's me, Mike, and good morning to all others who have joined us. And Jay, good morning. Welcome to the show, folks. You're watching AMS Live. My name is Boy. We're expecting at least 3 747s pretty soon. Those 3 should land on the Polderbaan, the runway we are standing next to. The first of those 3 should be Martinair Cargo in the Martinair livery, the only airplane with this livery in the world currently still flying. And it's not arriving from Miami, but from Bermuda. Came back from the Bermuda Triangle, lived to tell the tale. The other two airplanes are arriving from Miami. There's also an airplane arriving from Nairobi, but last time we checked, its ETA was 11:30, and that probably means, unless it gets an additional 10 minutes of delay, that we are not going to see it land here on the Polderbaan, but it will probably go to center, which by then we will hopefully be able to see, or at least the airplanes flying on the glide slope to it. The A380 is expected around 12:35 last time we checked. Good morning Leroy, Lenti, Gravely Lewis, and all the others. Bobster, good morning. Next airplane coming in is number 190, KLM flight 1918, arriving from Zurich. Good morning Barry, good to see ya. And a warm welcome to David Edwards, who just became our latest Aurora Sky Lounge member. David, thank you so much for choosing the Aurora Sky Lounge as your place to hang out in. You're in good company. I'm sure that if you are looking for something and cannot find it, there are other members that can show you around. Let me know if something is running low in supply, and also be sure to use those custom emojis. They're there for a reason. Ed is also back, good to see ya. So what is all that ironwork over the road just down from you? Those are temporary replacement pipes, pressure pipes for the sewage over here. They're going to renew the sewage, the pressure pipes, and these are temporary replacements. I will show you in a minute. I'm not sure if they've already finished constructing it, as I don't go further to the north over the cycling path. But they were under construction still until recently. It's coming from over there, and over here you have a roundabout where you can see a similar structure traversing a roundabout. And then over here, next to the fields, next to the cycling path, there are a couple of places where the pipe goes underground, and that is so that tractors can enter the land. I think one of those places is further over there. I have to be careful that my camera wires don't get tangled. Or is this where they're still under construction? No, you can clearly see it goes under the ground over there, and then it emanates again over there. Here it, for some reason, traverses the cycling path. I don't know why, and why they cannot continue the pipeline, or no, there's two of them, I think. Why they cannot continue in a straight line, but it's temporary replacement piping for the sewage. This is KM Malta, arriving from Malta. After this, we are going to see a Chinese triple. Raj, goedemorgen. Al Mustafa, good morning. Luxbro, good morning. Graham, good morning. All the others who have joined, Nico, goedemorgen. Welcome to the show, guys. You're watching AMS Live. We're here at the Polderbaan. My name is Boy. It's time for a Chinese triple. Hopefully it's going to get loud. Let's quickly turn back. Our next airplane coming in is China Cargo Airlines, arriving from Shanghai. 11 hours and 8 minutes on the way. 777 freighter, 2 years old, first flight July 2022. While this airplane is coming in, let's also have a quick look on Flight Radar, and let me show you what is coming. The Emirates A380 is already highlighted. Its ETA is still 12:35. Over here in the vicinity of Dublin, we have a 747-400 ETA 12:05. Martinair 1052. That's the Martinair Cargo livery, first of the triplet. The third of the triplet, 11:07 ETA. Cargolux, still an ETA between 11 and 11:40, unfortunately, means we're probably going to miss out on it landing here on the Polderbaan, but we should be able to see it going to the center runway, which is open for traffic from the east by then. Let's look and listen. Yes. China Cargo Airlines did not disappoint there. Absolutely beautiful. Now, another thing of beauty is that Marissa is celebrating 22 months of membership and counting. Almost 2 years, 2 months, and you'll be turning blue. Oh my god, oh my god. Marissa, dankjewel. Thank you so much for your support as a member, as a moderator, and as a frequent visitor who always has good input about the goings on in the stream. Your support is so valuable. Thank you so much. I hope that you still like being a mod. I hope that you still like being a member. I hope you still like visiting the channel. If you have suggestions, let me know. If something is no longer to your liking, let me know. 22 months, amazing. Thank you so much. Dankjewel Marissa. Absolutely amazing. Koen asks if there are any A340-600s expected today. I had a look and I didn't see any airborne, so I'm not sure if there's one coming in later today, but at least not in the time I'm expecting to be out streaming today, unfortunately. If it were to come in and we were also going to see 747s and the A380, I would probably have called my stream the arrival of the quad squad, or the full quad squad or something like that. I usually try to let you guys know either with the thumbnail and or with the title what you might be in for in the stream. UFO 80, guten Morgen. Welcome back. Rakete 88, guten Morgen. To you too, herzlich willkommen Leute. Croatia Airlines arriving from Zagreb, flight 450. BA flight 430 coming in after that. That's an A319 arriving from London Heathrow. Transavia flight 600 is coming in from Salzburg right after that. Good morning Kay, and good morning to all others. Lance, good morning. Lance Planes and More, also back in the chat. Good to see you, mate. Howdy Peter. Peter is tuning in from Birmingham today. Lovely to see everybody is joining us from all over the world. Around the world, around the world. Hey, hey, that's a nice car. Old Citroen. Nice, and also the color. Dude, check it out. What a lovely machine. And also a massive big thank you to Marianne, who is celebrating 14 months of membership and counting. Marianne, thank you so much for your support as well. Hope you like being a member for... Hope you still like being a member. English is failing. Can you tell? This is the first time streaming this week. I have to get back into speaking English. Marianne, thank you so much for your support. I hope you still like being a member and that you still like the lounge. Let me know if something is no longer to your liking. I sound like a broken record, but I mean it. Ah, I was stuk. DS. Absolutely amazing. Classic Citroen over there. Also a very beautiful color. Like the livery. Luc, salut mon ami. Bienvenue, good to have you back, mate. Un Citroën magnifique. Right. Small intermezzo between the Citroën spotting. Transavia flight 6006 arriving from Salzburg. After this we are going to see KLM flight 598, that's a 777-300 arriving from Cape Town, South Africa. Everybody is talking about the DS. Absolutely lovely to see so much enthusiasm for a beautiful classical car there. I have to say I like that color. I'm not sure if it is an original color. Maybe some of the members in the audience know. Do let me know. Einat Kasmin, good morning. Rino Panta, good morning. And good morning to all others who have joined us. This is a Citroën DS. And a Ford Ranger Raptor in the foreground passing by. This is Schiphol Airport. Our next airplane coming in is maybe going to get loud? Question mark. Nah, it's KLM. It's probably going to be very subdued and decent. KLM flight 598, 777-300 arriving from Cape Town, South Africa. The PHBVU. And the PHBVU is 7 years old. First flight of this airplane was in September 2017. Yep. Inspection of the flap surfaces. Yeah, that's KLM style. That's KLM style. Overview, macroscopic overview. Looking to the south, things currently look like so. I think there the sun is in the sky. In fact, are we able to do some sunspot spotting? I wonder. I think we might be able to see some. Yeah, there they are, the sunspots. Check it out. Beautiful. Can see them really well. Just the right density. And that's that's too much. Right. Looking to the south, looking to the west, looking to the east, back to the north. Next airplane coming in is an EasyJet A319 arriving from London Gatwick. "15 years old, first flight September 2009. Citroen DS still there. Our next airplane coming in is arriving from Panama City. There it is, KLM flight 758 78710 Dreamliner. Scrolling back, we have celebrations galore today. Leroy is celebrating 13 months of membership. Love the membership, love the channel, he says. Thank you so much, Leroy, for your continued support, and I hope that you are going to stick around as a member, and if not as a member, then at least as a regular frequent visitor for many more months to come. Thank you so much for the support, Leroy. A year and a month and counting, mate. Thank you. Let's quickly turn back, have a look at the glide slope, or at least where normally the glide slope should be. Transavia flight 6602 should be coming in next, arriving from Innsbruck. Gives me a moment to also thank Lise for her continued support as a member. 8 months of membership, just one more month for an AMS live member, baby. Right, well, Lisa, thank you so much for your 8 months of support. That is amazing. Hey, let me know if something is no longer to your liking. You know where to find me, I think, I hope. Lisa, dankjewel. Thank you so much for your support as well. A very good morning to all other viewers who have joined us in the meantime. You're watching AMS Live. My name is Boy. We're standing here at the Polderbaan. We began the day with a bit of haziness, and after this landing I'm going to update the meter in the ticker, because lo and behold, the sun has begun to shine over here. I'm hoping for better glide slope visibility soon. This is Transavia flight 6602 arriving from Innsbruck. 737-800. 9-year-old airplane, first flight March 2015. Good opportunity to also update the ticker and have a look at flight radar. There are 3 747s coming in from the west. All 3 expected to land here on the Polderbaan. A 4th is arriving, but probably will be going to the center runway, which today will be the secondary runway for arrivals between 11 and 11:40. Emirates A380 is expected to around 12:30 and is expected to land here on this runway. EasyJet arriving from Stansted. Up next, A320neo, and after that Delta Airlines flight 74 arriving from Atlanta, Georgia. A330-300. Let's have a quick look on the map. First up, flight radar. Martinair. This is the airplane that you saw in the thumbnail. The thumbnail is not indicative of the weather, but it is indicative of the airplanes that are coming in. The only airplane still flying from Martinair in the Martinair livery. Coming in, expected in half an hour or so from now. Atlas Air following behind it. Cargolux is 2. These are expected 11:05 and 11:08. Cargolux is now in German airspace, expected 11:25, and the Emirates A380 is expected 12:39. Next stop, EasyJet. After that, and before Delta Airlines, the weather. It is the OE Love. I love the OE Love. All you need is OE Love. A330 is coming in next. Delta Airlines Flight 74 already approaching. Let's have a quick look at the weather. Right, I've been having this problem for a while now that it doesn't reload the page. It was on before, so we are going to get the latest METAR right away. And cannot see the one that I copy pasted into the chat, in the ticker already. Wind hasn't changed in direction, the wind speed is also the same, air temperature is 1 degree higher, visibility is improving, 6 kilometers, and we now have a ceiling at nearly 1,000 feet, so the ceiling is rising and visibility on ground level is improving. First, back to the camera controls. First, film the landing, then I'm going to paste the METAR into the ticker for you guys. One step at a time, everything. Delta Airlines Flight 74, arriving from Atlanta, Georgia, A330-300, 18-year-old airplane, first flight December 2006. Will it get loud? That's the question. Yeah. No? Yeah? A little bit. Only a little bit. Let's quickly turn around. Next up will be KLM Flight 696 arriving from Toronto, Canada, A330-300 coming in. Let me quickly renew the METAR and update the ticker with it. There we go. Now. Also, a massive big thank you and warm welcome to Paul, who has returned and is celebrating 21 months of membership today. 21 months membership. Wow, Paul says. Mate, thank you so much for your support. Hope that you still like it in the lounge. Let me know if something is no longer to your liking or if anything is running out, and let me see what I can do to fix it. Couple of months still, 3 more, and you'll be turning blue too, mate. Thank you so much for the support. Now, after this airplane, we are going to see a KLM 777-300ER, KLM Flight 644 arriving from New York JFK. First up, this is a beautifully illuminated, or albeit temporarily, KLM A330. It's fuck B. Alrighty, let's quickly turn back. You can see things are opening up ever so slightly. Visibility improving by the minute. KLM Flight 644 arriving from New York JFK 777-300ER, 6 hours and 16 minutes on the way. The PHBVK, it is 11 years old. First flight May 2013. And a massive big thank you and warm welcome to Michael Pell, who just became our latest Aurora Skylounge member. Once again, becoming a member, thank you for renewing your membership. We kept your seat warm, mate. Good to have you back. Thank you so much for choosing the lounge once again as your place to hang out in. In the meantime, a very good morning to all the viewers who have joined in the meantime. I've been very busy with filming and updating the ticker and whatnot. Those of you who joined in the meantime, welcome. You're watching Amos Live. My name is Boy. This is the Polderbaan runway when it right. Primary runway for arrivals. Wind blowing from the south. Nothing out of the ordinary. 3 747s expected in the upcoming half hour, 45 minutes or so. Arriving from the west, landing on Polderbaan. A 4th is arriving from the east. It's ETA between 11 and 11:40. Probably is going to go to the center runway. A380 isn't. It's coming to the Polderbaan as well. Normally speaking, we should see it here. Hey, what do you know? We already saw some sunshine, and here actually a bit of blue. You can see that the sun is shining also a bit further out. Things are improving. That's good news. Maybe we get better lighting when the 747s are arriving. In the meantime, more and more viewers are arriving and more celebrations are being celebrated. Davey, also back in the chat, Davey GL is celebrating 15 months of membership and he says lounging around Aurora is great. Davey, thank you so much for the nice words, the ongoing support and being a member here. Always nice to have you in the chat, and that also goes for Patrick Lehmeyer, who is celebrating 16 months of membership. Whoop whoop, party time, he says. Guys, thank you so much for your support. And I said it before, I'll say it again. Let me know if something is no longer to your liking. I hope you guys still enjoy being a member. If you have suggestions, let me know. And in the meantime, thank you so much for the ongoing support and also for the great vibes in the chat as always. This is KLM flight 1402 arriving from Paris-Charles de Gaulle. Air Canada flight 808 arriving from Toronto will be next after that. Is there a message for AMS Live viewers? Probably there isn't, but you never know. Doesn't look like it, does it? Oh well. Probably not going to happen ever, but you never know. The cloudiness, once again, just the right density to see sunspots. You have to look really well, and it's only momentarily. Next up, Air Canada flight 808 arriving from Toronto, Canada, Boeing 7878 Dreamliner. 6 hours and 39 minutes underway, 10-year-old airplane, first flight July 2014. John, Dutch Canadian, good morning sir. What are you doing? 10 gifted memberships just now, mate, that is above and beyond. You didn't have to do that, you know that. Mate, thank you so much for that. Good morning, John. I hope you still like being a member yourself as well. And I hope that everybody who just became a temporary member by a gifted membership from you will thank you for it. New Aurora Skylines members, please enjoy your custom emojis. You have access to them for a month. Don't forget to say thank you to John. Little bit of reverser use there. Unfortunately, they spooled down the reversers just as they were approaching us. John, mate, really, thank you so much. That was above and beyond. 10 gifted memberships. Thank you so much. That is really, really generous of you. Thank you so much. Our next airplane coming in is arriving from Valencia. It's an Embraer 190 KLM City Hopper, 2 hours and 18 minutes underway, 16-year-old airplane, first flight January 2009. Marianne says you're running out of vodka with all these celebrations. I don't even have time to celebrate. And cheers. I'm going back and forth in between the computer and the camera constantly. Tom Vrijsen is celebrating half a year of membership, 6 months of membership, and in Dutch he writes, watching airplanes never grows dull. Mate, thank you so much for your support, Tom. I'm happy to hear that you still like looking at airplanes, and I'm honored that you are doing that as a member of the Aurora Sky Lounge. Let me know if it does start to get boring, and let me see what I can do to fix it then. Still have time to go back to the laptop. More celebrations coming in. Dirk on tour. Celebrating 3/4 of a year of membership. Good to see Air Canada, end of May. Also WestJet, yeah, that's right, Dirk. Looking forward to that. Thank you so much for your support, mate. I hope you still like it in the lounge. Let me know if something is no longer to your liking. Anybody who is new to the channel and is watching and is constantly seeing me thank people will probably think, what the hell is going on here? Is this just constantly thanking people and celebrating stuff? Yes, it is. It certainly is. ITA Airways is coming in next after this. ITA Airways flight 120 arriving from Milan. That's an A320 coming in. Low key wheelie. You guys you guys are making it really hard for me to keep up with all the celebrations and messages. First up, Romario just became a member, as did John McKenzie. Mates, thank you guys both so much for choosing the Aurora Sky Lounge as your place to hang out in. You're in good company. I'm sure that if you need something, people will will show you guys around. Thank you so much for choosing the Aurora Sky Lounge to be your place to hang out in during the streams. And welcome to you both. Also, UFO 80 is celebrating a half year of membership, joining in on all the celebrations. Time flies. Absolutely, UFO 80. I see that Lieve is also back in the chat. Good morning, Lieve. UFO 80, thank you so much for your support, and lovely that you are joining us with all the celebrations here today. Very celebratory day here today. John just now went ahead and gifted 5 more memberships. Mate, you didn't have to do that, you know that. I hope that everybody who just became a member, courtesy of you, will thank you for it. Welcome to the Aurora Sky Lounge. Don't forget to say thank you to John. Mate, thank you so much for your generosity. That is above and beyond. Now, up next, ITA Airways flight 120 arriving from Milan. It's an A320. Flight time 1 hour and 23 minutes. It's the ITA. Meanwhile, Russell, Cheryl and Steven Siegel passed us by. Also saying hi to all the viewers. The next airplane coming in is ITA Airways flight 120. Now, I'm unable to keep up, I think. Reticent guy, mate, thank you so much for your support as well. 16 months of membership, love the channel, wife, breakfast almost ready. Well, duty calls, breakfast is served. Bon appetit with your breakfast there, Reticent guy. Thank you for the kind words, thank you for the ongoing support. Let me quickly go back to the camera, mates, because otherwise, what am I doing here if I'm not able to show you guys the airplanes landing here? The EIDTA, 16 years old, first flight December 2008. No message for us. Not unexpectedly. There are the sunspots again, only temporarily visible with just the right cloud density. You need a filter. The clouds can provide the right filter, but you need the right density. Now also a massive big thank you to Tom Vrijsen, who just now gifted 5 memberships. Mate, that is above and beyond. Thank you so much for your generosity. I hope that everybody who just received a gifted membership from you will enjoy it. This is an airplane who had a nose job, KLM flight 1404, arriving from Paris-Charles de Gaulle. And we're going to see KLM flight 765 arriving from Bonaire after that. That's an A330-300. And the second ITA is coming in after that. That's an A320neo arriving from Rome. Three 747s are also underway. They're probably not too far out. So don't go away if you don't have to be anywhere. Still struggling to keep up with all the messages and highlight the right messages. Also a massive big thank you to Michael Nelson, who just now super chatted. Good morning, watching with our friends in Volendam. Volendam not too far away from Schiphol Airport, a bit to the north. Glad that you guys are joining us and watching all the airplanes land. 3 747s and the A380 are going to land here on the Polderbaan, and fourth is probably going to land on the center runway not too long from now. Also a massive big thank you to Patrick Lehmeyer, who just now gifted 5 memberships above and beyond. To you too, mate, you didn't have to do that. I hope that everybody who received a gifted membership from you will thank you for it, Patrick, and say thank you to you. This is KLM flight 765, countdown flight number, arriving from Bonaire, the B in the ABC Islands. This is fuck D. Well, fuck D too. This airplane is 12 years old, first flight March 2012. Oh! It's using the reversers. What? What on earth is happening? They're KLM and wide bodies, they're supposed to be timid and quiet. I think there's a glitch in the matrix, guys. This wasn't supposed to happen, or was it? Now I hope I'm all caught up now with all the celebrations and gifted memberships and whatnot. Mods, please let me know if I'm forgetting somebody. ITA Airways flight 108 is coming in next. A320neo arrival from Rome, 2 hours on the dot, underway according to flight radar. It's the EIINE. And it is a year old, first flight May 2023. I'm thinking we should start to see, yeah, the first 747, the Martinair liveried one arriving from Bermuda, is in the vicinity already. Still flying over the Gulf of Yorkshire, but it is approaching Dutch airspace. Let's have a quick look at the second ITA of the show. Right, back to the camera controls. The lighting is moody. Should be nice when the first of the triplet of 747s is landing here in a couple of minutes. For those of you joining us just now, welcome to the show. You're watching AMS Live. My name is Boy. This is the Polderbaan, primary runway for arrivals. LL is coming in, as are 3 Boeing 747s. A quick look on flight radar will tell us that we have 3 747s coming in. A fourth is in German airspace. Martinair, the first to land in the Martinair livery. Looks like Atlas is going to be second. ETA 1116 ETA 1109. Interestingly enough, it looks further away, but it has an ETA that is the second of the triplet arriving from Miami, Florida. Cargo Lux. Cargo Lux is also arriving from Miami. Its ETA, unfortunately, is 1127, and that is probably means it's going to land on the center runway. That is expected to open up in 10 minutes from now. The Emirates A380 is expected 12:37, and that means that it is probably going to land here on the Polderbaan. Next airplane to come in, El Al, arriving from Tel Aviv. Flight 337, 737-900. So that's at least 3 737s, 747s, and the A380 that we are going to see here before 1 p.m. local time. Local time you will find in the bottom left corner of your screen. No guns or anything hanging behind the airplane. We saw that once before. Evidence of the anti-missile system that allegedly is on board all of these airplanes. If you guys have been enjoying the show so far, haven't already, don't forget to add a like to the number of likes already, given it really helps to promote the channel and its content to new viewers who, just like you guys, are into streams like these, but who haven't come across the channel yet, and would probably love to join the awesome community that we already have established over here. KLM Flight 1002, arriving from London Heathrow. Next, 737-800, 200 nautical miles, the PHBXI. 24-year-old airplane, first flight July 2000. After that we are going to see the Corendon A350 arriving from Curaçao, Willemstad. Delta Airlines arriving from Tampa after that, that's an A330-300. Let's quickly turn back. Are we going to see the sun in a moment? Would be nice, wouldn't it? Particularly when the 747s are landing here, which is not too far away from now. A big thank you to Bus, who just now super chatted, looking forward to the MPS. I think most of the people here are looking forward to it indeed. We shall see it in a couple of minutes. Bus, thank you so much for your very generous super chat there. Stick around if you want to see the only Martinair Cargo 747 still flying. Should land in a couple of minutes, the first of 3 arriving from the west and landing here on Polderbaan within, what is it, 20 or so minutes from now. See that Blackburst is also back in the chat. Official Emirates fan, Marco, Puya, Supasta, all the other viewers, welcome to the show guys. Pilot Bram, goedemorgen. This is Corendon Flight 598, the daily flight between Willemstad and Curaçao. Well, almost daily I should say, A350-900. This is the ECNTB, 2 years old, first flight April 2022. Delta Airlines after that, A330 arrival from Tampa, and after that we are going to see the Martinair 747. I hope the spatial separation between the two is large enough so that we can also see the Delta land. It's the fate of airplanes preceding the 747 that they don't get a lot of love here on the channel usually. Now, together with the A220, which actually is a Bombardier of course by origin, I think these two are the prettiest modern day passenger airplanes out there. See, the parallel arrivals have begun. KLM flight 1198 arriving from Oslo is flying parallel to the 747, and it is going to be the first airplane to go to the secondary runway. See that Michael is also back in the chat. Good morning, Michael. Let's quickly turn back. Delta Airlines Flight 236 arriving from Tampa in Florida. Coming in after 8 hours and 5 minutes of flight time. 21-year-old airplane, the 803 November Whiskey. First flight August 2003. Uffel 80, thank you so much. Dankeschön. 5 gifted memberships, courtesy of Uffel 80 just now. I hope you will say thank you or Dankeschön if you are one of the 5 recipients of Uffel 80 is gifted memberships just now. I need some vodka, I'm sobering up. My tongue is not cooperating today. Hopefully the fingers are. Yep, reversers. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, we're expecting the first of 3 queens that are going to land here on the Polderbaan. Martinair Cargo, the only airplane still flying with this livery. Coming in from Bermuda instead of Miami, Florida. Flight 6142, 5 hours and 46 minutes underway. There it is, there she is, the first of the 3 queens. All hail the Queen. This airplane is the PHMPS. And this airplane is not the youngest, 34 years old. The airplane began flying in May 1990. I think I was still in elementary school for another 4 years and I was 8 years old. What were you guys doing back then? Here she's coming. Will she get loud? That's the question. Also, Peter K. Planes, thank you so much for your super chat. 350 for the A350. I love this beautiful airplane. You and me both, man. You and me both. Thank you so much for your super chat. Extremely kind of you. Here's to the A380. We're celebrating with a 747, the first of 3. Let's look and listen. Martinair Cargo. Cables, vortices from the flap tips. Not an idle reverse landing. Come on, spool up those reversers. Mate! Oh man. That could have been so much louder. Don't get me wrong, beautiful machine, beautiful landing. Tim says that flight 936 City Hopper is landing in 20 minutes from Glasgow with his son-in-law, captain now. Nice. Is he also flying as captain today? Coming in from Glasgow, we should be able to see it here. Still, what a glorious machine to look at. Martin Schroeder, the founder of Martinair, passed away not too long ago. One of the Netherlands' big names in aviation. It's not every day that people start their own airline. Find? You're a founder. Adi Danny, goedemorgen. And good morning to all others who have joined us in the meantime. You're watching Amos Live. This is Martinair Cargo, the first of 3 queens, landing here on the Polderbaan. Cargo Lux and Atlas Air still expected within half an hour from now. Parallel arrivals have begun. Center runway now open for arrivals from the east. Everything coming in from the west. Until 11:40 will be landing on the runway we are standing next to. Next airplane having landed here. KLM flight 1018. Things are opening up, big picture wise. This is what the south looks like. This is what we can see coming in. This is looking to the west. This is looking to the east. This is looking back to the north. So, let's have a look at what we can expect in the remainder of the stream. Quick look of flight radar will tell us that the Martinair Cargo has already landed. Atlas Air is now approaching. Not far behind it is Cargo Lux. They're both going to land here on the Polderbaan. Cargo Lux arrival from Nairobi is expected in half an hour from now, little under half an hour from now. That's going to go to the center runway, but rest assured we can still see it quite well from over here. Visibility is improving by the minute. Expected at 12:39 is the Emirates A380. That is going to go to the Polderbaan. Now, while I'm behind the computer, just in time to immediately massively thank Nicholas and Dana. Thank you so much, both of you, for the super chat. Hey boy, you are sure appreciated by Dana and myself. Great content. Have a beer and big hug from Newcastle. Mate, thank you so much. And Dana, thank you too. How is puppy care going for you guys? Your support is greatly appreciated, and I'm always happy if either one of you or both of you are in the chat to join in the banter. Thank you both, and you can rest assured I'll have that beer later today. Bas has to go, I think I see. Yeah, sadly gotta go. Thanks for the stream, Bas. Thank you for joining, mate. Hope to see you again in the next one, which hopefully is going to be on Thursday. We're not going to stick around. We are going to stick around. We're not going to go. We're not going to quit just yet. We are going to stick around until all the 747s that I mentioned just now and the A380 have landed. In the meantime, narrow bodies to entertain ourselves with and to cleanse our palate. This one is already passing by really slowly. Let's have a look in the cockpit, see if we can interact with the first officer. Nope, looking straight ahead. That's okay. In the background, A330 coming in. No, wait, triple. Sorry, I looked at the nose and then I saw the main gear and I instantaneously recognized my error. Morgen, some Dutch guy, and good morning to all others who have joined us. You're watching Amos Live, my name is Boy. The weather is improving. It was a bit hazy in the beginning, now it is improving. Let's have a quick look. This is the METAR in the ticker, showing 6 kilometers of visibility and a ceiling of 900 feet. A refresh will tell us that the ceiling has risen to 1100 feet. The wind direction hasn't changed. The wind speed has picked up 1 knot. The temperature has picked up 1 degree. Visibility 2 kilometers more, now 8 kilometers. Scattered clouds at 900 feet, broken clouds at 1100 feet. And it is becoming scattered clouds at 1200 feet. So, in other words, visibility is improving and the sun is slowly but surely coming out. And quick update of the ticker with the METAR I just now showed you. Also, for those of you interested in what we can expect, we can also have a look at the TAF, which is more or less the expected weather for the upcoming hours. We're going from IFR conditions to VFR conditions and then back to medium visual, or what was it, moderate. Ceiling is expected to clear around 1 o'clock. The wind is not expected to change. The sun will be setting at 6:09 p.m. local time. And in the meantime, we are waiting for the next airplane to come in. It should be an A319 from EasyJet arriving from Gatwick, and I think we can see it already over there. Turkish A330 is turning in for the center runway. Parallel to it, a little bit behind it, is the Atlas Air. That's the second Queen, arriving from Miami, Florida. And there's a KLM 737 behind the 747, so we're not going to see consecutive 747s, unfortunately. Things are opening up. If I show you guys big picture of what we can see over here, you can see that I'm standing in the sunshine and looking up, and around me more and more blue is appearing. Goes so far even that we are able to see a contrail really in the distance over there. But yeah, things are improving here. Just looking to the north alone might give a bit of a warped view of what it actually is happening over here. In the meantime, a warm welcome to all the viewers who have joined in the meantime. Leo, goedemorgen. Amelie, good morning. Cor, good morning. And all the others who have joined us. Welcome to the show. If you joined us only just now, you may have missed the landing of the Martinair 747 already, the PHMPS. In a few moments we're going to see an Atlas Air, and Cargolux is not far behind it. There's also a Cargolux coming in from Nairobi, which is expected around 11:30, which will be landing on the center runway most likely. The Emirates A380 is expected just a couple of minutes past 12:30. By which time one runway for arrivals is only open. That's expected to be the runway we are standing next to, aka the Polderbaan. See that Alan is also back in the chat, mate. What up? Roll on, bloody summer. Yeah, well, I'm really thrilled to see that the sun is now shining and is warming up things over here. I'm sad, however, to see injured Donald over there. Really doesn't look that well. Makes me sad, actually. Next airplane to arrive is going to be a 747, the second one of the show. Where is it? There it is. You have to look closely to see it, but here she is. This is Atlas Air Flight 5579, arriving from Miami, Florida. 7 hours and 24 minutes underway. It's a 747-400 freighter, 22 years old. First flight was in July 2002. Not yet flying in the sunshine, but that is soon going to change by the looks of it. Alrighty, here she is, Atlas Air. 22-year-old airplane, 4,023 nautical miles. It has journeyed to get here from Miami, Florida. And in a couple of minutes from now, Cargolux is going to follow, arriving from the same place of origin, Miami, Florida. Let's take a listen. Another quiet landing. We're not going to see two consecutive 747s. There is a KLM 737 that has crept in between. Maybe luckily for us, because that means we can also have a look at the airplane vacating the runway and are back in time to see the next 747 on the glide slope. Everyone has to go. Mate, thank you for joining. You have a nice day and see you in the next one, hopefully. Her Majesty the Queen, number 2. Cargo locks, now number 2. Number 8 on flight radar, tracked by 308 people. Rookie numbers, we have more viewers than that. Looking behind me, I can see that the 737 is landing. Hey, thank you Alan, who says congratulations on reaching 27k. Upwards and onwards, right? Evan asks, Monday stream? No. Hopefully Thursday, but not tomorrow. Third airplane of the third queen of the show in the distance, coming this way. The lights are on, the gear is down. This is Cargo Lux 7478, arriving from Miami, Florida. Oh, wing fluff over the wings, nice. 7 hours and 18 minutes on the way. It's the LXVCA, 15 years old already. First flight February 2010. Makes me wonder, when was the first 7478 being delivered? Is the third time going to be a charm? Are we going to hear a loud landing this time around? Fingers crossed. Nice lighting, that's for sure. Nah. Really modest use of the reversers. It was louder than the previous two were, but it wasn't deploying the full thrust of the reversers. It certainly was the loudest landing of the three. Let's have a quick look where the other 747 incoming is in the sky, going from the METAR to flight radar, and we can see that Cargo Lux arriving from Nairobi, Kenya is in Dutch airspace already. Its ETA is still 20 minutes from now. Mind you, it is going to land on the center runway, but we are going to see it from over here quite well. So if you don't have to be anywhere, stick around. I'm sticking around at least until this airplane has landed. 12:39, the ETA of the Emirates A380, landing on the Polderbaan by then, expectedly. So should be nice if you guys are going to stick around with me. Morris Farms, sorry, I have to go. Unfortunately, Morris Farms will not be able to join us, but hopefully you will be able to catch the replay later. In the meantime, Liwe is celebrating almost 2 years 2 years minus 2 months of membership, 22 months. Time flies when you're having none. Liwe, thank you so much for your support and everything you have been doing as a mod since you've become one to support the channel. Above and beyond, mate. I've said it before, I'll say it again. Thank you so much for being around as a member and as a friend of the channel, as a mod. I hope you still like it over here, like being a mod, like being a member. Let me know if either of the two is no longer to your liking. Sounds like I'm starting to get emotional. The ambient air temperatures are still a bit low. Time to invite the elephant in the room. Alright, and we're back. Alan says, I want to wish my fiance Eileen a very happy birthday and I look forward to pissing off you later. Pissing you off later, lol. Congratulations with Eileen. Eileen, congratulations. Happy birthday. And I'm so looking forward to the day that you'll be pissing off me over here in person, Alan. I'll roll out the red carpet for you. In the meantime, we have a triplet of airplanes on the glide slope to runway 18 right, the Polderbaan. First up will be this KLM arriving from Persenchester, flight 1030. It is a 737-900. The third airplane on the glide slope is an Air France Bombardier C-Series 300, flight 1500, arriving from Paris. And sandwiched in between is an Embraer from KLM arriving from Aberdeen. Right, big hole in the clouds over here east of me. The sun once again now temporarily behind a few clouds. It looks like things are opening up and cloud streets are forming. I think this is the direction of the wind more or less visualized. Airplanes to the center runway, Austrian over there, arriving from Vienna, flight 379. And Nicholas is tuning in from Greece. Good day to you, sir. And Hans is also tuning in. Good day, Hans. Can hear something with propellers. Looking around, it's probably the Dash 8, although I'm not able to see it, and I do see it on flight radar. I'm unable to see it because of the severe backlight being caused by the sun over here. KLM Embraer 190 arriving from Aberdeen, the next airplane to land over here. And the next airplane behind it is an Air France A220. Gives me a moment to go back in the chat, and thank Matus Corpo for your super sticker, money mouth face, and also a massive big thank you to some Dutch guy for your super sticker, Baby Lemon, looking up to our lemon character standing in a superhero position. Mates, thank you so much for the support. And Thea, hoi hoi, my son is coming in from Billund in about 22 minutes, KLM flight 1292. E2 Embraer 195, can you please make a close-up of the cockpit? 22 minutes from now, I hope it is going to land on the runway 18 right then, the airplane. If it's going to center as one of the last airplanes, I am afraid I might not be able to get a very good close-up, Thea, but I will do my best. Air France flight 1500 arriving from Paris Charles de Gaulle. That's a Bombardier C Series 300. 48 minutes underway. Brand new airplane. Began flying in August last year. Morning Duncan, who is tuning in from Aberdeen. Good morning to all others who have joined. In the meantime, you're watching AMS Live. My name is Boy. We already saw the arrival of 3 747s. A fourth is in Dutch airspace already, expected to land on the center runway in 10 or so minutes from now. Maybe a little less. Between 5 and 10 minutes from now. Expected in an hour and 20 minutes by now is the Emirates A380. It is expected to land here on the Polderbaan, the runway we are standing next to. It feels like the wind is picking up a little bit. The wind is blowing from the south, more or less. Headwind, in other words, for the airplanes landing here. Salut mes amis et bienvenue dans les Pays-Bas. Wind on the scale of chimney smoke, haven't even shown you guys until now, is looking like so. Now Thea, I hope your son is going to land in over 20 minutes from now. You can see that there is an E2 arriving from Copenhagen right now, going to the center runway. And I think that the airplanes from Billund will do the same if they are expected here before 11:40. Donald is no longer here. Not sure if he is swimming further up. That's Chris Coote by the looks of it. Haven't seen Gary Grebe here yet, the mother ducker. Think there's only a Coote visible over there. Now, on the other side, a bit harder to see because of the reflections. Don't see any aquatic birds in the vicinity over here just south of me. Here we have an E2 Embraer 195 arriving from Copenhagen. This is what we can see from cockpits over here. Still difficult to get it in view and keep it quiet. Keep it steady, I should say, from such a distance. Right, it is Embraer 190 time, folks. This is KLM flight 954, operated by German Airways, arriving from Newcastle. 279 nautical miles the journey. The airplane has been flying for 17 years. Started somewhere in 2008, month not being specified. And the 747 arriving from Nairobi is flying over Martinair still, technically speaking, just northeast of Volendam, making its way over to the center runway, where we should be able to pick it up, or at least when it is approaching the runway. The It's German Airways. Airplane has a blue bottom, and that is because it used to belong to BA, British Airways. Ah, nice, Thea. One of the last flights, he will change to the triple in 2 weeks. Hadi Jan, goedemorgen. Is it morning still? Yeah, it is still morning. So it is 11:25, folks. That means that in 15 minutes from now, center is going to close again, and Polderbaan once again becomes the only runway for arrivals. KLM flight 1068 is arriving from Southampton as airplane number 1, and the KLM arriving from Glasgow is now third for arrival, Marissa says. And sandwiched in between is KLM flight 1136 arriving from Dublin, Ireland. Morgen. Alles goed? Zeker. Mooi. Wat zei je? Uiteraard. Overal waar ik kom schijnt de zon. Hey, fijne dag man. Later. That was Bart passing by with a friend who was filming arrivals a bit further to the north. Right, so KLM flight 1068 arriving from Southampton. Next airplane to arrive over here, it is number 190, one of KLM's own. It's the FAZ PHEZZ, 11-year-old airplane, first flight November 2013. And behind it, parallel to it, I should say, is Aegean, arriving from Athens, A320neo, flight 3624. On flight radar, it looks like the G is right between the two airplanes that are flying towards the Polderbaan. Should make a nice sequence. Right, the office is closed. Nothing to see. Here we have Aegean, the A320neo arriving from Athens, flight 3624. Next airplane coming in for Polderbaan is KLM flight 1136 arriving from Dublin, Ireland. Oh, shoot. Wolfgang says that the son-in-law of Tim is piloting KLM flight 936 for the first time as a captain. Let's get the cockpit. Flight 936. That was the one arriving from Glasgow, right? The next airplane, if I recall correctly. The Embraer arriving from Aalborg. Or was it Billund? It was Billund, right? Hopefully I don't confuse airplanes. The next airplane on the glide slope to the Polderbaan is the one arriving from Glasgow. And we still have to wait another 10 or so minutes for the airplane arriving from Billund. No, wait, it is already there. I can see it already. It's flying base. KLM flight 1292, right? Oei. Die gaat naar center. It's going to center, I think. It's already here. Oh dear. Right, in the meantime, the cargo locks arriving from Nairobi, the 747, is also established on the glide slope of the center runway. Alrighty. Let me quickly take a sip of vodka. and get my camera work on. Should be good. So, let me see if I recall correctly. Tim's son-in-law is captaining this airplane for the first time. Thea's son in one of his last flights piloting or captaining the airplane arriving from Billund, the E2. A sandwich in between somewhere is Cargolux, the 4th 747, going to the center runway as expected. Alrighty. Showtime, this is KLM flight 936. It is arriving from Glasgow in Scotland. It's the FEXA PHEXA. It is 11 years old. The first flight was in December 2013. Let's have a look in the cockpit. If the bird control isn't spoiling it. Nice, nicely done. Well done, chaps. Right. Now let's have a look at the 747 Cargolux, 4th of the show, coming in from Nairobi in Kenya. Already over there. There she is. Cargolux flight 2616, 747-400, arrival from Nairobi, Kenya. 8 hours and 47 minutes underway. It's the LXKCL, that's Kilo Charlie Lima. 17-year-old airplane, first flight February 2008. Alrighty. Meanwhile, things are opening up here. The glide slope is also looking to open up. Russell is also over here saying hi to all the viewers. What up, Russell? Hip hop, hip hop, hip hop. There you go. Gives me a brief moment to turn around and welcome Alex to the Aurora Sky Lounge. Alex, thank you for choosing the Aurora Sky Lounge as your place to hang out in. I hope you're going to like it in the lounge. If you need anything and don't know where to find it, plenty of members are around to show you around. So let me welcome you once again and thank you for your support. Let's see. We're expecting Thea's son as number 2 now in the distance to the center runway. The E2 Embraer 195. Close up of the cockpit will unfortunately be a challenge from over here, Thea. I will try to get the airplane in view the best I can. KLM flight 1292 arriving from Billund. A plane similar to this, an E2 Embraer 195. Should be arriving pretty soon. think there's your son, Thea. KLM flight 1292 arriving from Billund. E2 Embraer 195. Now, in an hour or so from now, the Emirates A380 is going to land here on the Polderbaan, the runway we are standing next to. And this is probably one of the last airplanes to the center runway. Still open a secondary runway for arrivals. The inbound peak usually lasts from 11 until 11:40 AM, which means that in 5 or so minutes from now, Polderbaan once again is going to become the only runway for inbound traffic here at Schiphol Airport until approximately 1 o'clock. All airplanes arriving from east or west from those two times on will land here on this runway. This is KLM flight 1292 arriving from Billund. 47 minutes underway. The PH NXR, 2-year-old airplane. First flight somewhere in 2023, the month not being specified unfortunately on flight radar. Cannot give you more precise details. Right, so there they are. More Embraers over here. Embraer 175. Landing on the Polderbaan allows us to see the cockpit a little bit better. Another Embraer 190 coming in next. This is KLM flight 1076, arriving from Bristol. 15 minutes ago it left from Bristol. The airplane 11 years old, first flight January 2014. In the meantime, I just received notification of a PayPal donation from Werner Gustav Wilhelm Reimann. I hope you're watching, Werner. Thank you so much for your generosity. The PayPal donation notification I just received. Thank you so much for that, my friend. Very kind of you. And you're welcome, Thea. Happy to oblige. Also a massive big thank you to Alan, who just now gifted the membership. I see that Karen Thompson is the recipient of the gifted membership. Welcome to the Aurora Skylounge, Karen. Don't forget to say thank you to Alan, and be sure to use those custom emojis that you now have access to for a month. Welcome, Karen, and thank you, Alan, for gifting a membership to Karen just now. If you guys have been enjoying the stream so far and you haven't already, consider leaving a like. It really helps to get in more awesome people like yourselves. People who are into streams like these but who haven't come across the channel yet. Your likes really help to promote this content to new viewers. Bring in more awesome people. Marissa is informing us that there's a Sun Express in a special livery coming in about 20 minutes. That is great news, Marissa. Which livery is it? Mike Wild, good to see you, mate. Welcome back. Next up is going to be Transavia flight 5626. It is arriving from Palma de Mallorca. Now let me see. Yeah, I think I still have some. backup handkerchiefs over here. Now, glide slope visibility today, unfortunately, still not the best. Things are clearing up, but it is still not what it used to be in optimal conditions. SMK 242, good morning. Istanbul livery, fully in a light color blue, lovely. Don't think I recall having seen that before, at least not from the based on the description, so looking forward to that. See that Mark is also back in the chat, good to see you, mate. Hope all is well. This is Transavia flight 5626 arriving from Palma de Mallorca. Let's have a look. 773 nautical miles it has journeyed, the PHHSA. She's 15 years old, first flight June 2009. Feels like wind is picking up a little bit. Curious to see how that translates into METAR speak. Let's have a quick look. We can see that Emirates is approaching German airspace. Its ETA is now 12:39, and from the TUF, let's go back to what now is the latest METAR. We have VFR conditions, 10 knots of wind, so no increasing wind speed according to the METAR. 10 plus kilometers of visibility, no more ceiling. Great news. Oh, let's quickly copy paste that into the ticker. And then continue with filming. So in just under an hour, the Emirates A380 is going to land here. And as Marissa just now told us, there is a special livery Sun Express coming in what now is probably just under 20 minutes. Embraer 190 arriving from Humberside, flown by Britty Hopper aka Eastern Airways, is next. And in the meantime, 500 likes. Thank you all so much for that. I see that Jörg just now went ahead and gifted 5 memberships to celebrate the occasion of 500 likes. Jörg, thank you so much. You didn't have to do that, you know that. You went ahead and gifted 5 memberships. I hope that everybody who received a membership from you will thank you for it and will enjoy the membership. If you are enjoying a gifted membership, consider renewing it or maybe gifting a membership to another person who might also enjoy it. Jörg, thank you so much, and thank you all so much for 500 likes. Keep them coming. It only means more awesome people like yourselves are going to come in, grow the community. That is already big. It is a Britty Hopper, a term coined by Frank, who I haven't seen yet today. The pilots of the Eastern Airways airplanes learned about the term Britty Hopper and have taken a liking to it and are referring to themselves now as Britty Hopper pilots as well. Heard that from one of the Britty Hopper pilots who told me. Now, in the meantime, it's a lovely day over here. You can see more people are out here. That's almost always on a Sunday. Whenever the weather is decent, people get out, particularly if they have young children. Let's have a quick look. And we can see on Flight Radar that BA is coming in. Nice picture with birds apparently flying very close by it. A319 arriving from London Heathrow. Next to arrive. Question is, how well can we see glide slope visibility now? How well is glide slope visibility now? The answer is we don't know because we cannot see more airplanes on the glide slope. Traffic is trickling down a little bit in tempo. Iceland Air Flight 500 is approaching, Tarom is approaching, but they're still both pretty far away. So no glide slope combo shots possible for the time being. Lee Spenny says, great show again, my friend. Thank you for the kind words, mate. Glad to hear you're enjoying. Post Weave says, Finnair A321 from an hour ago is already leaving again. Yeah, that's the turnaround times that we mentioned earlier in the stream. Those narrow bodies usually come and go quite rapidly. An hour, if not less, of turnaround time. BA flight 450 arriving from London Heathrow, next to land here. Wind is picking up a little bit, and let me see if maybe the footage is a bit more stable when I enable image stabilizer. Not sure if it is necessary. It might add a little to the stability of the footage, particularly when the wind is blowing perpendicularly to the camera and the surface area susceptible to the wind is the greatest. Notice that the following becomes a little bit more uneven. See that Dizzy Myron is tuning in from Saint Nicholas in Aruba. I hope I pronounced that place name properly. An early morning for you then. Frank de Bruin also back, good morning. And all others who have joined in the meantime, welcome to the show. If you joined us only just now, you may have missed the landings of 3 747s on the Polderbaan and a 4th to the center runway. However, you are still in time to see the Emirates A380, which is expected in, what is it, 50 or so minutes from now by now? The A380 is expected at a time when only the Polderbaan is expected to be open for arrivals. In other words, we are going to see the Emirates A380 on the runway we are standing next to, more than likely. See it just as close as this BA airplane is. Peter is asking a very interesting question. The Embraer 175 and 190s have winglets. Why is the E2? I'm assuming you're referring to the E2 Embraer, because the regular Embraer 195 does have winglets as well. Why not the E2 Embraer 195? Good question. Probably a different wing design, if I had to guess. I don't know for sure. Let me say that beforehand. But you can also see that some airplanes don't have winglets and others do. The A350 has curved winglets. The 777 doesn't. The 787 doesn't have official winglets, but it does have a certain. The wingtips do have a certain shape, which also acts to reduce the drag. Wouldn't be surprised if the different wing design of the E2 Embraer is the reason why winglets probably weren't necessary. Is that Donald? I think I can already see. Yeah, that's Donald. Injured Donald. Poor thing. Now let's see, the next airplane coming in is Iceland Air Flight 500. It is a MAX 8 737 arriving from Reykjavik in Iceland. I think this is it. Glide slope visibility still poor, even though the sky around me is now mostly blue. Second airplane coming in is Tarom Flight 361 arriving from Bucharest, 737-800. Third airplane to arrive is KLM Flight 792, 777-300 arriving from Sao Paulo. Thomas B is greeting us from Germany. Herzlich willkommen, good to see you, mate. Marissa misses the Iceland Air 767s. I think we all do. 757s too, by the way. At least we were lucky enough to see United coming with 767s on a couple of occasions last week. Not sure if they also visited Schiphol last weekend. Looking in the distance, visually I'm not seeing the second airplane on the glide slope yet, the Tarom. I'm sure glide slope visibility will improve at some point later in the day, but for the time being, still quite challenging, to put it mildly, to see more than one airplane in the distance. Siegfried also back in the chat. Alex Lightfoot, goedemorgen, good morning. Bruno, guten Morgen. Servus. Aus der Schweiz. Herzlich willkommen. And Yillard is informing us that another two 767s from United landed before the stream went live earlier in the morning. So at least United is still visiting Schiphol with 767s on a regular basis. If I recall correctly, it was announced that the 767-400 is also going to be used again by United in the summer, in a couple of months from now. Hopefully in addition to, and not as a replacement of, the 767-300s that they're now sending. Han asks, why boy? Waarom? Daarom. Daarom is geen reden. Als je van de trappen valt ben je gauw beneden. That's why is no reason. If you fall down the stairs, you'll be down quickly. Is what it says, the little rhyme, which doesn't rhyme in English, but what is literally what the Dutch rhyme says. Maria has to go. Her bed is calling her. Maria, thank you for joining. Sleep well. I hope to see you again later in the week. This is Tarom Flight 361 arriving from Bucharest. No baby bus. Just a 737-800. Sun Express special livery now fourth for arrival. Thank you for the update, Marissa. Mats, good to see you, mate. Hey, stofzuiger FN. Nice name. Vacuum cleaner. Right, it is 777-300 time now, ladies and gentlemen. This is KLM Flight 792 arriving from Sao Paulo in Brazil. Brazil is in Latin America. And you know what other country is in Latin America? You're right. So this is KLM Flight 792, arriving from Sao Paulo, 777-300 10 hours and 44 minutes the flight time. 5,267 miles it has journeyed, the PHBVI. Airplane, 12 years old, first flight June 2012. Marco Visser, goedemorgen. Laleiner's also back in the chat, long time no see, mate. Good to see ya. After this, another E2 Embraer 195, KLM Flight 924 arriving from Edinburgh. And after that, Sun Express special livery arriving from ADB, that's Izmir, Turkey, right? Yes, it is. Oh, is this the special livery? Yeah, I thought I saw that one a couple of weeks ago or something. It landed on the Kaagbaan then. Did film it, didn't know it was the Istanbul livery. But now that I see it, it did visit Schiphol 1 or 2 weeks ago or so. It was in one of the streams that I was filming arrivals at the Kaagbaan. Now, with the exception of that one unruly pilot from KLM's A330, who used the reverser and also introduced some spray, all the wide-body landings from KLM thus far have been very moderate in volume. Goeiedag allemaal. got 4 guys standing right next to me. You probably heard them on the mic. Ground crew is present. E2 Embraer 195 is the next airplane coming in. KLM flight 924. Flight time an hour precisely according to flight radar. The PH NXN November X-ray November. 3-year-old airplane. First flight November. No, not November. Just 2022 it says. Month not being specified by flight radar. After that, Sun Express special livery flight 944, and after that it is back to the narrow bodies with standard liveries. EasyJet A320 arriving from Basel, now number 3. KLM Embraer 190 arriving from Leeds, coming in, and an Embraer 190 arriving from Hamburg. Is that Turkish? Is that Turkish cargo arriving from Madrid? A321 flying off the coast of Noordwijk, by the looks of it. It says THY, which is Turkish, isn't it? Let me click on the label in a moment. Probably an all-white A321 then. I think I also see the Red Wine Express coming in. That's an E2 Embraer 195 arriving from Bordeaux. For now, first let's have a look at Sun Express in the Istanbul livery. Arriving from Izmir in Turkey, this is Sun Express flight 944, a 737-800, 3 hours and 27 minutes the flight time. It's the TCSOZ. 17-year-old airplane, first flight February 2008. BBN Airlines with a Turkish flight number, all white probably. Either way, first up, Sun Express. Police also patrolling here, BMW X5 I think it was. Not Officer Rulov, but one of his mates. Right, the lighting not as good as at the Kaagbaan in the morning, but we are able to see the livery a bit longer since it has already landed and is passing us by at lower speed. Whether you like the livery or not, I think we can all agree it looks remarkable. Stands out between the other liveries. Let's put it like that. Jack Wolfman also back in the chat, good to see you. And welcome to all others who have joined us in the meantime. If you joined us only just now, welcome to the show. You're watching AMS Live. My name is Boy. We're standing here at the Polderbaan, runway 18 right, which once again has become the primary runway for arrivals here. Wind is blowing from the south. The Runway is expected to stay open as the only runway for arrivals until approximately 1 p.m. So another hour of only arrivals here at the Polderbaan. Between 1 and 2, the center runway is also going to open up a secondary runway once again. If you joined us only just now, you might have missed the landing of 3 747s on this runway and one going to the center already. We are still expecting the Emirates A380 in 40 minutes from now, and it is expected to land right here on the Polderbaan, the runway we are standing next to. So if you don't have to be anywhere, stick around until then. I know I certainly will. Gotta catch them all, right? Quad Squad members are just like Pokemon in that respect. In the meantime, EasyJet coming in. I was like the mechanism of the reverse thrust on those A320s and the A320 family, the old engine type, so to speak. This one was Swiss registered HBJYD. 13-year-old airplane, first flight March 2011, returning from Basel. Next will be KLM with another Britty Hopper flying on behalf of KLM, arriving from Leeds. KLM flight 1020 is the flight number, 44 minutes the flight duration. Embraer 190, 18-year-old airplane, hailing from the year 2007, month not being specified on flight radar. And after that it is another Embraer 190 from KLM, arriving from Hamburg. Flight 1754 should be on the glide slope already. I'm trying my best to see it. I'm not seeing it just yet. I'm not sure if you guys are able to see it. Over here I'm really struggling to see anything. Maybe if they switch on the lights, which they probably haven't done so. Sander Oké, ook weer back. Also back in the chat. Good to see you, mate. Hope all is well. Edward, goedemiddag. Marissa says that she has to go, unfortunately for us. Thank you for joining us, Marissa. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday and hope to see you again later in the week, next week. Richie Hopper, first officer, focused on the business at hand. Oh, and a departure from 18 left in the background. Looks like a 777. Now, looking up and around me, I'm not seeing any contrails in the immediate vicinity, unfortunately. There are some cyclists on the cycling path, however. All those pedestrians are in the way. What are those cyclists doing on a cycling path? How dare they? In the meantime, another German Airways Embraer 190 flying on behalf of KLM, coming in from Hamburg. Not the airplane formerly known as Chucky. This is DAG MP, DAG MP. The airplane is 16 years old, hailing from the year 2009. Month not being specified, but if I had to guess, I would say January. Don't recall having seen any German Airways Embraer 190s that had a different month than January as the first month of their flight. More, oh, it's the Tour de France. We've got two pelotons of cyclists. You can see that spring is beginning again. Or if it hasn't begun officially yet, and it hasn't, it is around the corner. The next airplane coming in is the A321 from BBN Cargo with a flight number that is from Turkish. It is arriving from Madrid. It's an A321. Flight time 2 hours and 17 minutes. 25-year-old airplane. It's a millennial hailing from the year 1999. First flight was in September that year. There it is. Quick sip of vodka. to keep the throat nicely lubricated. So, Emirates A380, it is expected in just over half an hour from now. We are going to see a couple of wide bodies before it. The first of which is flying base now, KLM flight 706, arriving from Rio de Janeiro. The Red Wine Express is now number 2, expected to land here on the Polderbaan. The E2 Embraer arriving from Bordeaux. First up, and it says Turkish flight 6600, arriving from Madrid, BBN Cargo. Rodney asks or says there is a good bit of folks out there today. What's the temp? It is just under 10 degrees C, or what is it, 50 F. But the sun is out, the wind is blowing from the south. It's not very cold, luckily. So after this airplane we are going to see the Red Wine Express, KLM relocation flight by the looks of it. Its flight number is 9935. So whether or not there are passengers on board, I don't know. It is arriving from Bordeaux though. Paolo asks, really AMS Live vodka in daylight? Absolutely, mate. Keeps me sharp. Makes me a better driver behind the wheel as well. Right, there is a control in the east coming this way. Might be one flying to the United States or Canada and arriving from Frankfurt, or originating from Frankfurt or Munich. Sorry?
Dreamliner from Frankfurt to Minneapolis.
Dreamliner Frankfurt to Minneapolis. Thank you so much. Hey man, ik ben Boy. Hi Boy. Hi Boy.
We waren hier op bus.
Met de bus?
Nee, in de bus.
Oh, op de bus. Oh, je bedoelt bij het hotel. Ja.
Dus we dachten, we gaan Boy even plagen.
Leuk man. Nou, welkom, welkom. Net op tijd. De A380 die komt over een klein half uurtje. Dus hij gaat hier landen als het goed is.
De 747's hebben we gemist hoor.
Ja, er waren de 3 die op de Polderbaan landen en eentje ging naar Center. De 3 kwamen, ik geloof, tussen 10 en half 11 of zo. Ze waren echt met de laatste, de tweede en de derde, daar zat alleen een 737 tussen. Was bijna back-to-back. Nog niet. Geen wheelies. No Captain Wheelie yet. Although, you never know. There's an Embraer coming in from Bremen, and also a lot. Embraer 175 is coming in. First up, 777-200 time. This is KLM flight 706 arriving from Rio de Janeiro. Operated by KLM Asia. This is of course Rio de Janeiro in Latin Asia. 10 hours and 38 minutes on the way. PHBQH 20-year-old airplane. First flight September 2004. It looks like the airplane is crabbing, which is interesting because I think that the wind was mostly blowing from the south. And at least in the morning it was, yeah, well, no, it was a little bit south-southwest. And indeed, Duns, there are two 747 on their way, but will arrive around dinner time. Won't be around for them to land, to see them land, unfortunately. What a difference a couple of hours make in terms of weather. If you go back to the beginning of the stream, if you only joined us just now and you think we've had this weather all throughout the stream, you're wrong. It does mean that we are going to have perfect lighting here when the A380 arrives, and it is expected in half an hour or so from now. Alan, unfortunately, leaving already. He takes his Julie out for lunch. Well, congratulations once again, Eileen, and have fun. Bon appetit. Let's have a quick look. See on flight radar where the A380 is. A380 is approaching Dutch airspace. It is flying between Münster and Bielefeld right now. Its ETA, as you guys can see over here, is 12:37. Geirik also back in the chat. Good to see you, mate. Welcome back. We have a little doggo that is very enthusiastic over here. Two pedestrians walking their dog, or their dogs, I should say, plural. There we go. Bird control passed us by just now, K3. And we're waiting for the next airplane to arrive. It is an Embraer 190. What a surprise. A rare Embraer over here. KLM, arriving from Bremen. It is KLM's own airplane. It's the Phexy Lady, PHEXY. 7-year-old airplane, first flight February 2018. Big picture overview, there it is. Now, after this, we are going to see lot flight 263 arriving from Warsaw. Not sure if it is Captain Wielski behind the wheel, but let's have a look. I think last time we saw a big wheelie, it was an Embraer 190 when Captain Wielski dropped a bomb. So I'm not sure if maybe he also flies, or she flies, the Embraer 175. Let's see, we have another 777-200 arriving from Atlanta, Georgia, flying extended base, still over the Gulf of Yorkshire, but approaching Dutch land. Should arrive as 4th, I think. Yeah, 3 already established, and I think that's going to be the 4th airplane. And you can already see heat waves emanating from the grass and from the tarmac. Makes it look like it is warmer than it actually is. Although granted, I'm not wearing the heated gloves at the moment, just regular gloves. Fingerless gloves, I should say. Definitely warming up. First officer, giving us an extended wave. Effing A. Beautiful. Now, big picture wise, this is what it looks like to the south. This is what it looks like to the east. This is what it looks like to the north. And this is what it looks like to the west. Hey! On the live stream as well, a dad with his little daughter. Or at least that's what I'm hoping they are. That's how they are related. Probably are. Next up, lot flight 263 arriving from Warsaw, an Embraer 175, 598 nautical miles. They have journeyed to get here. The SPLI, it's the SPLII. 15-year-old airplane, first flight June 2009. Embraer 190 arriving after that, another KLM Embraer 190. So let's have a look. Is this Captain Wielski? Would be nice, wouldn't it? No, not today. Not today. Still, it is a very polished landing. Can't argue that. Next airplane coming in is KLM flight 1074, arriving from Bristol. It is another Britty hopper. 50 minutes on the way. The airplane is 11 years old, first flight February 2014. Hadi Edwin, goedemiddag. First officer short ski. Hans Heider, goedemiddag, tuning in from Beverwijk, just a little to the north of us. Not too far away. Richard is tuning in from half-clouded Alicante and 16 degrees Celsius. Well, we're catching up on Alicante with almost double digits in weather temperature over here. Or has it become double digit already? Probably might have. After this airplane, we are going to see another KLM 777-200ER arriving from Atlanta, Georgia. First up, Britty Hopper Embraer 190 flying on behalf of KLM. Alrighty. Next up, another wide body. KLM flight 622, arriving from Atlanta, Georgia. 7 hours and 30 minutes underway. 3,821 nautical miles it has journeyed. The PHBQP, that's Bravo Quebec Papa. 17-year-old airplane, first flight April 2007. It is 12:17. In approximately 20 or so minutes from now, we can expect the Emirates A380 arriving from Dubai, flight 147 in German airspace at the moment. But soon, no longer it will be. Richard says, I still see those tubes over there. Is your floor heating still not finished? He said it in Dutch. Nee, Richard, inderdaad. I'm not sure if they have finished constructing those replacement pipes or if they're still continuing further to the north. The camera is now pointing to the north. Don't know exactly. That little rent-a-crane is still over there. And I'm not exactly sure, I cannot see quite well from over here if the tubes are still continuing. This looks like some loose pipe pieces laying around, but I'm not sure whether or not it is continuing. I haven't traveled further north yet, so I don't know for sure. Now, I haven't been around on Thursday or Friday, so I don't know if they were still busy on weekdays constructing it further north. But they are there for temporary replacement. They're temporary while they are replacing the fixed pressure pipelines. So I'm thinking they are going to stick around for many more months to come. And Diana is leaving the chat, but the TV is still on YouTube. See you later. Gary in Amsterdam, goedemiddag. Better late than never. Absolutely right, mate. You are still in time for the Emirates A380 though, so could have been worse. Gilles says, nice cup of coffee and enjoying the beautiful footage of airplanes. Top. Great. Absolutely right, Gilles. Hope you enjoy your coffee. This is KLM flight 1602, arrival from Rome, 737-800. Let's see. What can we expect after this? Hadi Crystal, goedemiddag. Lovely weather indeed it has become. The day definitely didn't start out as sunny as it is right now, but have a look back in the beginning of the stream. If you joined us only just now, you may have missed the landings of 3 747s here on the Polderbaan. A fourth went to center. Now looking around, you can see the sun is abundantly shining. There's a contrail passing overhead. Looks like it is also traversing to either the United States or Canada from Frankfurt or Munich. Now zooming in on it. Is that Lufty? I don't think it is. Is it? What is it?
Aer Lingus.
Aer Lingus. Ah, thanks.
Dublin,
A320 Munich to Dublin. Thank you so much. What's your name again? Erik, thank you so much, mate. Well, Han, time for you to get a sandwich or get a fresh cup of coffee, because Vueling flight 8309 is now coming in from Barcelona. 674 nautical miles it has journeyed, the ECOGE. 18-year-old airplane, first flight December 2006. Ah, yeah, must be going for watering the lettuce. See you in a minute, Han. You take care of the lettuce. Now, where is the next airplane coming from? I see that the Emirates A380 is now in Dutch airspace already. And a little gap between this landing and the next, which I think is going to be KLM flight 1800, arrival from Düsseldorf. Flying a little south of Purmerend. On paper, we ought to be able to see it from over here. First up, let's check if that dot is still there, that one dot. Luckily, we can confirm that it is still there. And the registration of the Aer Lingus is the ID. I need to see ID, please. Let's see. The scale of chimney smoke, that is where Purmerend is at. If I recall correctly. That means that the KLM is flying somewhere in between over there and the runway glide slope. I'm now scanning the sky to see if I might catch a glimpse of KLM flight 1800, arrival from Dublin. We're now looking at the sugar factory. Halfweg. Is that already? I think. I've probably filmed it already, but I'm not seeing it. Such a small airplane. Not sure if the clouds are in the way. Poor little Donald is still there. Victor says, hi, joining from KLM flight 743 from today. Bad luck, you are today on arrivals and not departures. We have a delayed flight, had to be 11:40 a.m. That's a shame. Now, we are lucky to see overhead traffic once again. Big hitter is coming. Chinese triple. Martinair Cargo. Did I say triple? Of course, this is the A330-200. Right. Alrighty. In the meantime, the Embraer 190, having arrived from Düsseldorf, should be on the glide slope. Only vaguely visible over there. Dirk on Tour says A380 confirmed for 18 right. That's good news. Hadi Martijn, goedemiddag. Garik asks if I ever tried the AR function on Flight Radar 24. I don't, because Flight Radar is on my phone. My phone is securely tightened in a phone holder attached to my camera, because I use it to see Flight Radar and the live chat. So I would have to uncouple the phone from the camera, which introduces vibrations. I would also have to introduce vibrations again when I would be fixating the phone again. So I'm not using AR, because my phone is stuck stuck to my camera. Simon K asks, how much delay do the airplanes have on Flight Radar? Well, that depends. Sometimes it's hardly any, other times it is a lot. It also depends on the accuracy of Flight Radar, because we've seen it happen that the A380 landed here on Polderbaan, and according to Flight Radar it landed in Haarlem, a bit further to the west. So that is why I've said it before, and I keep saying it. It's always hard to assess where you need to point the camera if you want to see approaching airplanes based on what you see on Flight Radar, because you don't know how accurate it is. The answer is you don't know for sure. It is usually pretty accurate. Hadi Angelina, goedemiddag. En René Michaela, goedemiddag. Busy indeed, absolutely. It's a more physically involved thing than people think it is. When they first see me filming, you can not see what I'm doing behind the camera when you're seeing the footage from YouTube, but I think that Jörg can attest to that. If you see what goes on physically over here, it is actually quite busy. First officer is looking but isn't waving. Big picture wise, the sun nicely out, bit of high clouds, but nothing to write home about. The wind, as you can see, moderate, mostly in the direction of the runway heading. This is what it looks like on the scale of chimney smoke. And Dunn says that there's a 777 from Emirates approaching German airspace, diverted to AMS, was supposed to go to London instead. That's interesting. Where exactly in German airspace is it right now? What is its estimated time of arrival? If it is before 1 o'clock, we are able to see it land over here. If it is after 1 o'clock, it's probably going to land on the center runway. Next airplane coming in is Sun Express Flight 722, arriving from Kayseri in Turkey. 737-800, 8-year-old airplane, first flight April 2016. Peter asks if the A380 already landed. It didn't. It is approaching and is going to land within 10 to 15 minutes or so. Jack asks, with how many people do you make this content? Well, the filming, etc. I do myself. All the videos and content that gets uploaded. Obviously, the moderators are also helping with the moderation of the chat. That is something that they do predominantly. The filming, editing, uploading content, everything involving the filming, I do myself. Howdy Stove, good day to you. Welcome back. Embraer 190 coming in next, KLM flight 1088 arriving from Cardiff, and after that a Transavia arriving from Kittilä. Triple will land in 52 minutes, Wolfgang says, so that is around 1:30. So the 777 diverting to Amsterdam will not land on this runway. Hadi Greet, goedemiddag. And Sander also, welcome back. Perfect timing. The A380 is approaching. It is in the vicinity of Purmerend, which was the scale of chimney smoke, if I recall correctly. Or was it the sugar factory? I think it was the scale of chimney smoke. I think I have the A380, guys. I think I have the A380. Bingo! That's the A380 coming this way. Chinese triple passing overhead. That's KLM Embraer that used its reversers. Hadi Henk, goedemiddag. And good afternoon to all others who have joined us in the meantime. You're watching AMS Live, my name is Boy, and we are going to see the Emirates A380 pretty soon. It is already on the downwind leg. If you guys are enjoying the content thus far and you haven't already, consider leaving a like, because it really helps to bring in more awesome people like you guys are already. More people who are into streams like these, who haven't come across the channel yet. Transavia coming in from Kittilä. Transavia coming in from Naples after that. There's a couple of narrow bodies preceding the Emirates A380. And the A380, we saw it just now, it is flying base. Coming in pretty soon. This is Transavia flight 208, arrived for Kittilä. The PHXE, 8 years old, first flight June 2016. Also a warm welcome back to Bill Peterson. Bill, good to see you again. A massive big thank you for your generous super chat. Thank you, boy. Last seeing Schiphol, great memories. If I recall correctly from reading back the chat, which I strive to do almost always, you flew on Delta to Amsterdam on multiple occasions, didn't you? The Delta A330s, which we love to see because they often get so loud. Both the 300s and the Neos. Bill, thank you so much for your generosity. You didn't have to give that super chat, but you did. Thank you so much, and I'm happy to give you happy memories back to the Schiphol days. Delta Airlines on the great A330. Well, I'm a big fan of the A330s as well, particularly the Deltas, because you guys at least know how to use the reverse thrust. Those KLM pilots are a bit pussy in that respect. Very modest and timid. Although we were pleasantly surprised today with, was it the 300 or 200? It was applying the reversers and also throwing up some spray, which I didn't know we even had on the runway. Dutch Flight Simmer also back in the chat. Good to see you. Welcome all. You're watching AMS Live. My name is Boy, and if you only joined us just now for the A380, you have missed 3 747s landing here on the Polderbaan already. There was a fourth. It landed on the center runway. We were able to see it quite well from over here, but you are still in time for the Emirates A380. Expected in minutes from now. Transavia flight 6414 arriving from Napoli in Italy. Quick look at the touchdown, and then I'm going to scan for the A380. Alrighty, well, this is airplane numero uno. Question is, where is the second airplane? Still hard to see, if not impossible to see any airplanes coming in. I'm also zooming out a little bit. Two airplanes preceding the A380. This is Turkish or Anadolu Jet A-Jet 737-800 arrival from Istanbul. 3 hours and 18 minutes on the way. According to flight radar, the A380 is turning in. The question is, where are we able to see it? It should probably be a bit lower in the background. Don't think it is going to be higher up. There is airplane number 2, airplane number 3, usually at the 7 o'clock, and I think we have a visual. There it is, Emirates A380, arrival from Dubai, flight 147, not yet in the top 10 of flight radar. I'm sure we can get it in the top 5, if not higher. And we are seeing a beautiful promise by Sander in the form of a super chat message. If weather permits, I promise an airplane dance next week, March 2nd and after. Mate, I'm looking forward to that. The airplane dance. If you guys don't know what Sander is referring to, have a look. The airplane dance made it into a... Was it a separate video? I'm not sure that we made a separate video of it. We did make a thumbnail of us dancing the airplane dance. It was last summer. It was a screenshot. No, it was a thumbnail of one of our streams in the summer. Two suspiciously looking characters being blurred a little bit, doing a little dance in front of the camera. Looking forward to your arrival, mate. Don't forget to charge your batteries when you do come over. In the meantime, Marton is tuning in from Germany again. Herzlich willkommen. Just in time. On our right, we have Transavia flight 6336 arriving from Valencia. Now, airplanes preceding Quad Squad members usually don't get much love here on AMS Live, and this Transavia is no exception. Only wide bodies immediately preceding the Quad Squad members do get some love and attention over here. So we're passing up on Transavia's landing. You might pick it up on the mic, but we are going to keep the camera focused at Emirates flight 147. It is arriving from Dubai, 6 hours and 15 minutes underway. That is 20 minutes more than normally would have been the case around now. Average flight time 6 hours and 30 minutes. The registration of this airplane is the A6EOZ, that's Echo Oscar Zulu. And this airplane is 9 years old, first flight January 2016. It is in the standard livery. Members of AMS Live already have access to the latest iteration of the standard livery, the one with the ribbon tail. be sure to use it to your heart's desire. That also goes for the Emirates A380 headshot, of course, 2 custom emojis that you can use in this case. Although feel free to spam us with other custom emojis as well if you feel the need to. Daily Dose of Aviation also back in the chat. Benny Sharks is also back in the chat, tuning in from Kenya. And at least according to my flight radar, the Emirates flight 147 still isn't in the top 10 even. What? How can that be? Camera zooming out back to the top end of optical zoom. And a bit further out. Showing you the ground and airplane. You can see it's still pretty far away. Don says, looks like it's having a bit of wind from the side. You're right. The wind is blowing from the southwest to south-southwest. So there is a little bit of crosswind for us, left to right. Emirates A380 not making it in the top 10 of Flight Radar today, it seems like, even though 1,211 people are watching. If you guys are enjoying the stream, don't forget to leave a like. It really helps to bring in more awesome people like you guys who haven't come across the channel yet. Six hours and 52 minutes of flight time, 9-year-old airplane, first flight January 2016. Let's see if the Emirates A380 is going to use its reversers or if it is going to use an idle reverse option. Yeah, if it's going to use idle reverse for landing. The 747s, with the exception of the last one, were very timid and subdued. Fingers crossed that the King is going to be loud with a roar. Yes. Holy shizzle. Emirates delivered. Emirates delivered. That was a tremendous landing. Formidable optically and also for the ears. Not sure how much hearing I still have left, but it's worth it. Damn. Say what? Nice one, wasn't it? Yeah, absolutely.
It was heavy.
Heavy and loud. It delivered. The beast from the east has landed. Woken up the neighbors if they fell asleep. And everybody in the audience got deaf as well. I've said it before, I forgot to say it beforehand, AMS Live cannot be held accountable for any loss of speakers or eardrums. You are watching this channel at your own discretion. There's definitely also an airplane coming this way from either Frankfurt or Munich, a contrail coming this way. Doesn't look like it is a quad squad member, but I wouldn't be surprised if it were a wide body. Still underway. In the meantime, a Transavia just now landed and passed by, which you can pick up on the mic. Midfeed just in time to see the landing of the A380, perfect mate. Emirates A380 is now taxiing back to the main platform area. This runway, the Polderbaan, is the latest addition to the network of runways. It's furthest removed from the main platform area, and that is why this runway has its dedicated control tower. The airplane has to taxi along the line of trees back to the main platform area, where the center runway also is. That's on the westernmost part. The terminal building is a bit further to the east, and immediately adjacent to it we have the control tower, the main tower. Now you can imagine if you're sitting in the tower over there and you have to look to what is going on over here, and you don't have perfect visibility or a telescope, it's hard to see. And that is why this runway has its dedicated secondary tower. Here's the twin jet coming from either Munich or Frankfurt, I think. Alrighty. Another landing here. Just now happening. E2 Embraer 195, KLM flight 1354, having arrived from Prague in the Czech Republic. First officer is busy, focused on the business at hand. Next airplane coming in is going to be Lufti, flight 2304, arriving from Munich, an A320. 1 hour and 6 minutes on the way. 9-year-old airplane, first flight March 2015. Now, where are the wide bodies? Where's the next wide body? And where is it coming from? I do see that there is a 777-200 coming in from Lima. That is still pretty far away. The Qatar 777 arriving from Doha. Where is it going to land? Is it going to the center runway? Probably is. But it would be nice if it were to come to this runway. Now also a massive big thank you to Matus Corpo for your very generous super chat there. Matus Corpo writes, just like Bill, thanks for bringing back good memories, boy. I flew at KLM 20 years to MD-11 and 737, also at Transavia. Keep up with the good work, many thanks. It keeps us sane and happy. Best, Willem. Willem, thank you so much for your kind words, and it's so lovely to read back that you guys are getting all those nice memories back from all those good years. You guys have been flying those tremendous airplanes. MD-11, that is amazing. When did they retire it? And didn't they also first continue to fly it as a hybrid, part cargo and part passenger? I still remember them. Thank you so much for your kind words and for your very generous super chat there, Willem. Hey jongens, fijne dag nog hè. Geniet ervan. Bedankt voor het gedag zeggen.
Sta je er morgen?
Nee, morgen niet. Nee, morgen vrije dag. Donderdag als het goed is weer.
Leuk.
Hey, tot dan jongens. Fijne dag. Wel thuis. Alrighty. Let's see. Condor, Blue Sea livery, A330 flying over Frankfurt to Toronto. Was that the airplane just now? Can we see the Condor stripes? Yes, wait. Man, that is a Condor. Couldn't discern the stripes on the livery just now, but I am able to see another airplane passing north of me. Let's see. Looks like an is that an A350? Singapore Airlines, A350, isn't it? I think it is. And And over here we have a Max from TUI, I think. Hey Ricardo, fijne zondag. Ricardo has to go. Thanks for joining, Ricardo. Enjoy the rest of your day. Fijne dag. And Yellard is confirming it was Singapore Airlines A350 Manchester to Singapore. Awesome. I'm wondering, is the Qatar 777 arriving from Doha, which is already in Dutch airspace? Is it going to go to the center runway as one of the first airplanes, or is it still coming to the Polderbaan? Ah, okay. Two vehicles. I was wondering, is it a bus? Wasn't able to see it from over here, but luckily the camera can zoom in quite nicely. Hey, 3 airplane glide slope shot. Where is Jerry? We need to celebrate. Can anybody tell me if the Qatar 777 arriving from Doha is coming to the Polderbaan or if it is already going to the center runway? I'm guessing, given the current time, it is going to land on the center runway as one of the first, if not the very first airplanes, but I hope I'm wrong, of course. Oké. Hey, Afrodite. Jij hier? Afrodite, goedemiddag. Good to see ya. Qatar to center. Right. Wow. What's the next wide body coming in for Polderbaan? Because as I already feared was going to happen, it looks like it is going to be narrow bodies, narrow bodies, narrow bodies for the time being. Hoi, goeiedag. Zeker? Jou ook?
René.
René, goeiedag.
En dat is Michael.
Waar?
Die kleine daar, die zwarte. Dat is mijn vrouw.
Ah, oké. Hey, leuk man. Ja. Ik zag jullie berichtje net nog in de chat. Leuk man.
Wat een mooi plekje hier.
A380 net gezien. Mooi man.
Ja, bizar. Wat een apparaat.
Vet hè? Ja, hij was gelukkig ook luider dan de 747's die eerder landen. Ik weet niet, waren jullie hier toen ook al?
Nee.
Nog niet?
We waren net voor 12 hier. Zo.
Ah, oké. Nou ja, goed getimed. Ook met mooi weer.
Zeker.
Hartstikke goed.
We hebben al een aantal keer gevlogen met de 380. Dus
Ah, leuk. Ja, vet. Op welke verdieping heb je gezeten?
ja, gewoon die kon weer.
Ja. Ja. Ja.
Met Turkish Airlines naar Istanbul en dan naar Bali.
Leuk. Niet verkeerd. Ja, heel stil geloof ik hè, ook de A380.
Ja.
Als je binnen zit.
Ja. Dat valt echt dat je denkt van groot en dat je denkt van nou, herrie en trillen. Echt helemaal.
Valt mee.
Opstijgen, dat gaat echt zo.
In the meantime, René, who already announced he was in the vicinity with his wife earlier, came over to say hi. We're chatting a little bit about the A380, which they also saw land. And also how being on board the A380 is a nice ride. Very quiet as well. Aeromo is tuning in from Phoenix. Hope you were in time to see the A380 landing a couple of minutes ago, mate. Hey, fijne dag. Groetjes aan Michaela.
Ja, dank je.
And René on his way again. So, let's see. Looks like we're going to see narrow bodies here to the Polderbaan for some time to come. One of the first, if not the very first airplane coming in from the west. For the time being, to me seems like KLM flight 744 arriving from Lima in Peru. Still west of London. That's still 40 minutes out. 40 minutes of waiting through narrow bodies back to back to me seems like a chore. So I think after the Qatar 777 has landed on the center runway, I am going to call it quits for today. If the weather will allow me to, I should be back on Thursday then. Quite a few airplanes coming this way, but at least arriving from the west, most of them are narrow bodies. And Aeromo unfortunately just missed the A380, mate. What a pity. Definitely worth looking it back, because watching it in replay, because it was a loud landing. And it also generated spray. I didn't even know we still had spray left on the tarmac, but we did. It definitely cleaned the runway. Hadi Samantha, goedemiddag. If you're asking me, I'm doing well. Amber Bay, goedemiddag, hello. Bill says that NWA and Delta typically debriefed at Molly Malone's. And the emoji reveals that you have good memories about those debriefings as well. Bet you have a lot of funny stories to tell about Amsterdam. Hadi Rob, goedemiddag, tuning in from South Africa. South Africa, good to see ya. So, for the time being, parallel arrivals once again in progress. I see that the first airplane to the center runway has just turned in. KLM flight 1852 arriving from Munich is 737-700. It just turned in and is becoming the first airplane to land on the center runway. It looks like the E2 Embraer 195 from Milan is the second. Looks like there's a bit of a gap between the airplane I'm filming right now and the next airplane to the Polderbaan, which looks like it is going to become EasyJet flight 22925. The airplane we are now looking at is Transavia flight 5818. 737-800 PHHZI. 24 years old, first flight April 2000, a millennial. You can see no humps on the back of the airplane. And that means no Wi-Fi on board. And I can confirm that from personal experience, having flown on Transavia on several occasions to Innsbruck. Then again, for such a short flight, you don't necessarily need Wi-Fi. Although if you fly to the Canary Islands and are underway for 4.5 hours, I can imagine that you would like to have some entertainment in the form of maybe your own internet. Hadi Thomas, goedemiddag. Right. Another A321 from Air France is turning in. It looks like the next airplane is coming in from Bristol for the Polderbaan. In between the next airplane and now we are going to see two airplanes to the center runway. The first of which is the 737-700 I mentioned earlier, arriving from Munich. The other one is the E2 Embraer. Looks pixelated AF because the airplane is pretty far away. Here the scale of chimney smoke, chimneys as a reference, frame of reference. Aeromo says, Denver, my old home, gets first A380 Lufthansa from Munich starting April 30th. Hope to go up for a visit then. Nice, mate. Is that the first time they're going to Denver, or is it the first return flight of the A380 to Denver, and did they already fly to Denver with the A380 before? Not very familiar with Lufthansa's schedule of destinations and what airplanes they usually use to fly to those destinations. This is the 737-700 arriving from Munich, KLM flight 1852, E2 Embraer 195. Behind it, KLM flight 1614 arriving from Milan. Now the contrail, now right east of me. Looks like the track from Frankfurt / Munich to somewhere in the United States or Canada. I'm also going to zoom out and show Christopher Coote here. Chris Coote swimming by himself, doing some cardio. An example to us all. Swimming against the wind, against the current. Inspirational. And Aphrodite has delved into the question which is the first wide body coming to the Polderbaan, and is mentioning that it is indeed KLM flight 744 with an ETA of 130. So I'm not going to stick around for that. I can tell you now with certainty if that's the first wide body coming to the Polderbaan. We have to wait through either narrow bodies here or wide bodies going to the center runway. I am going to wrap up after the Qatar 777 has landed. It is on the glide slope to the center runway already. Hadi Jelle, goedemiddag. Good to see ya. So, in the pipeline coming in is EasyJet flight 22925 arriving from Bristol. That's the airplane on the right that is coming to the Polderbaan. On the left we can see Air France flight 1640. That's an A321 arriving from Paris Charles de Gaulle, Paris. In between these two airplanes, flying towards the center runway, is Sky Express flight 790, and that's an A320 Neo arriving from Athens in Greece. And Lufty already has had all the current wide bodies in Denver except maybe the 7478 and the A380, so that's going to be a first. Awesome, mate. April 30th, that used to be Queen's Day here in the Netherlands when Queen Beatrix was still our reigning queen. Ever since her son Willem Alexander took over as our current king, Queen's Day on the 30th changed to King's Day on the 27th, which is his birthday actually. April 30th, at least for people of my generation, used to be Queen's Day back in the day. Hadi Dirk, goedemiddag. Good to see you, mate. Hope all is well. Sky Express coming in from Athens, flying to the center runway. After this, on the center runway is coming in Qatar flight 273. That's going to be the last airplane of today's show. So this is the third to last. The second to last is going to be the Air France A321 landing here on the Polderbaan. And then the very last airplane is going to be Qatar flight 273 arriving from Doha, 777. Now number 2 behind this airplane coming in from Athens. Ja, Koninginnedag in Dutch, Queen's Day, and back when they effectuated the change from the 30th to the 27th, the first couple of years, not everybody was informed about the change. And the first couple of years when Queen's Day became King's Day, we still had the occasional, usually foreign visitors coming dressed in orange on the 30th, when King's Day already took place a couple of days prior. Now I think most people are informed about the current King's Day being on the 27th of April. The A321 from Air France, flight 1640, having arrived from Paris. That's the penultimate airplane of the day. Now let's quickly turn back to see the last airplane of today. This is Qatar flight 273. It is Qatar Airways, a 777-300ER. Not a cargo flight, it's a passenger flight. 6 hours and 33 minutes underway. The airplane is 10 years old. First flight July 2014. Wolfgang asks about the Saudi 787 in the neon livery. I'm not going to stick around for it. I actually think it's not the most special livery that is out there. If it were the Quetzalcoatl from Aero Mexico, I would have stayed around, but not for the neon. Bill already says, thanks for the live, great stuff as always. Thank you for the kind words. Bill, thank you for joining as well. And also a massive big thank you to all the other viewers who have joined here today. I hope you guys enjoyed the stream as much as I have. Leave a like or consider doing so if you haven't already. If you did enjoy the stream, it really helps to bring in more awesome people like yourselves who haven't come across the channel yet, but who might click on one of the thumbnails. Recommend it to them because you guys are liking the streams with great numbers. Bring in more awesome people, grow our awesome community even bigger. A massive big thank you to everybody who became a member, who gifted memberships, who super chatted, super stickered, PayPal'd, bought something from the merch store. Have a look in the merch store if you haven't already. A massive big thank you lastly to all the mods who were in the chat today for keeping the chat friendly and accessible to all. This channel is nothing without you guys. I humbly say thank you to you all for joining me here today. I wish you all a lovely Sunday or what's left of it, wherever you live. Enjoy the rest of your week. Enjoy the sunshine, be safe, be warm. Hope to see you again on Thursday. And I'm going to say bye for now, guys.